You've reached the Do Your Best Until podcast. I'm your host, Michael Vaughn Williams. The Do Your Best Until podcast is sponsored by Aquamatic Irrigation. If you live in Houston, Missouri City, Sugar Land, Pearland, or the surrounding areas and need a lawn sprinkler system or sprinkler system repairs, even landscape lighting, please visit www.aquamaticirrigation.net. In this episode, we will discuss the benefits of taking responsibility for our actions. I will share one of my experiences as a preteen playing baseball in the backyard with other neighborhood boys. I grew up in a working-class neighborhood. There were a lot of children born within 5 or 6 years of each other. That meant there were most likely enough kids to put teams together for each sports season, and we played them all. Football, baseball, basketball were the most popular, but we even gave nod to track and even croquet. Most families had at least 3 children. We had 6, 5 boys and 1 girl. I guess because we had the 5 boys, our yard was a popular spot for whatever the season. Our backyard was mostly dirt for many years because of all of the constant foot traffic for each sport. Although we did not have a fence, the neighbors on each side did. That made the perfect backstop and home run fence for baseball. And this is where my story begins. All the neighbors were nice. We could even go in their yards whenever we needed to get balls that were hit over the fence. They were all nice except Mr. Alexander. Mr. Alexander and Mrs. Rachel only had 1 child, a girl. She was nice, but she didn't play sports with the boys. The cool girls did. Mr. Alexander spent hours working in his yard every week. He even brought buckets of sand to build up his yard. I often wondered, where did he get this sand from? We didn't have that kind of sand in our neighborhood. Since he spent so many hours working in the yard, he didn't like kids to touch his yard. Although we knew this, Mr. Alexander's fence was the home run fence when he was not at home. It was summer, it was baseball season, and of course, we were playing baseball in our backyard. I was at bat, and the guys were giving me a hard time. One of the favorite phrases to try to get under someone's skin was, "Look at him, swinging like a washwoman." After that first strike, I was really focused on the ball. I fouled the next ball, but the third pitch, I got all of it. We all watched the ball sail over Mr. Alexander's fence for a home run. But that was not all. The next sound we heard was the sound of glass shattering. Everybody took off running, even me. But as I was running, I said to myself, where am I going? I live next door. I stopped running, turned around, and walked up to Mr. Alexander's door and knocked. When he opened the door, he was fuming. He said, "Those kids broke my window. Do you know who did it?" At this point, I'm thinking, maybe I should have kept running. But I worked up enough courage to say, "Mr. Alexander, I broke your window. That's why I'm coming here to tell you that." He took a harder look at me and said, "Let's go and talk with your parents." Although it was a short walk to my house, it seemed to take forever. Mr. Alexander knocked on the door, and my dad answered. He said, "Come on in, Johnny," and he looked at me with a puzzled look on his face. Mr. Alexander wasted no time telling my dad what happened. His version was short and sweet. "The number of boys were playing baseball in your backyard, and someone broke my window. They all ran off, but Michael. He came to tell me that he broke the window." I was holding my breath because I didn't know what was coming next. My dad looked at me. I think I was looking everywhere else but at the 2 of them. Then Mr. Alexander said something that surprised me. He said, "I don't think you should punish him. I really appreciate him coming and doing the right thing and taking responsibility for what he did. If you replace the window, I'm fine with that." My dad said, "I will replace the window, but he will have to pay for it out of his allowance." I did pay for the replacement. It took me about 3.5 months to pay the $3.50. My allowance was only 50 cents every 2 weeks. After that experience, though, Miss Alexander treated me differently. He even became one of my first customers for my trash can take-in service. But he also was one who would make you speak up to get paid. And I eventually dropped him because he didn't like to pay. And I wasn't working for free. The point that I really want to get across, or listen to yourself talk. As I was running, trying to avoid taking responsibility for my actions, the voice in my head reminded me that I could not run away because I lived next door. That also gave me time to realize that taking responsibility was the correct action. Sometimes you must do the right thing even when friends are not there to support you. It may have been easier for me to do the right thing from the beginning if at least one of my friends had encouraged me to do that. But there was no one there. So you do what's right. Sometimes you may be able to run away from your responsibilities and not have to answer for them, but that only helps to build bad character. If that is the character shown to others, that also shows them that you are not a trustworthy person. My action demonstrated to my friends that I was a person who holds himself accountable to do the right thing. And most likely, I would also expect the same of them. This episode is important because many times throughout life, we are confronted with options to do the right things or not. Many times we'll have positive self-talk. It's important to listen and take responsibility to do the right thing. That builds good character. It makes us feel good about who we are and shows others we are worthy of their trust. And they should also show the same quality toward us. So, enjoy your life as you choose to do your best until you can do better. This is Michael Vaughn Williams with the Do Your Best Until podcast, signing off. I'm also the Sprinkler Man, Michael Vaughn Williams.